The room went silent the moment the cake slid down my face. It dripped from my nose, my chin, and the corners of my eyes as I blinked in shock. I am Grandpa Joy, 70 years old, and until that moment I thought I had seen everything life could throw at me. But nothing prepared me for my daughter-in-law Sarah smashing her anniversary cake into my face in front of 50 guests, and then yelling, "You're a beggar, Joy. Stop coming here for food." The music stopped. Forks froze in midair. Even the children stared like statues. I slowly wiped the frosting from my eyes, my hands trembling, not from weakness, but from the sting of humiliation. My son, Michael, stood beside Sarah but said absolutely nothing. No anger, no surprise, not even guilt, just blank silence, like my dignity meant nothing. The guests whispered. Someone laughed. Someone else recorded. And I stood alone in the middle of my own family's living room, covered in chocolate cake and shame. But I didn't shout, I didn't curse, I didn't even defend myself. Because revenge, real revenge, is best served cold. And mine had been cooking for months. 2 years earlier, after losing my wife, I sold my small business and moved closer to my son. I wanted family, I wanted warmth, I wanted home. But Sarah never liked me. She said I was too old-fashioned, that I talk too much, that I bring negative energy. Michael, blinded by love, always sided with her. I ignored it for the sake of my son. I helped them financially, I watched their kids, I even paid for half the down payment on their house. But the more I gave, the more Sarah hated me. For my son's anniversary, I came with a simple handmade gift, a wooden photo frame I carved myself, holding a picture of Michael as a child. Sarah frowned the moment I walked in and muttered, "Don't bring your cheap things here." I brushed it off. But when she smashed that cake into my face, every buried wound exploded inside me. After the guests left and the humiliation settled into every bone of my body, I walked out quietly. Not a single person stopped me, not even Michael. The night air was cold, but my anger burned hotter. I went home, sat in my chair, and thought. Sarah thought I was a beggar. She thought I was worthless. She had no idea who she was dealing with. She didn't know about the money I still had. She didn't know that the house they lived in belonged to me, that the business she bragged about, Michael's software company, had been started with my investment. My name was still on every document. I sighed deeply. They had forgotten that the old man they insulted had built everything they owned. So I took the legal folder from my drawer, the one I hoped I'd never have to use, and made a phone call. "Mark," I said to my lawyer friend, "I think it's time." The next morning, I invited them to my house. They arrived reluctantly. Sarah crossed her arms, Michael looked tired, the kids stared at the floor. Before they could speak, I placed a stack of documents on the table. "Sit," I said calmly. Michael blinked. "Dad, what's this?" "This," I replied, sliding the first paper toward them, "is the ownership deed of your house, the one I paid for, under my name." Sarah's face lost its color. "This," I continued, sliding the next page, "is the investment agreement for your company. I own 48% of it." Michael swallowed hard. "And this," I added, placing the last paper down, "is a notice. You have 30 days to vacate my property." Sarah shot up from her chair. "You can't do that, we're family." I finally stared her straight in the eyes. "Family?" I repeated. "You smashed a cake in my face and called me a beggar in front of the world. You forgot that the roof over your head came from this beggar." She opened her mouth to argue, but I raised a hand. "I gave you everything," I said softly, "but you gave me nothing except hatred." Michael finally spoke, voice shaking. "Dad, please, the kids, this is their home." I softened, not for Sarah, but for him. "You should have defended me," I said gently. "Silence is also betrayal." He lowered his head. Sarah grabbed his arm. "We don't need him, we'll get a lawyer." I smiled slightly. "Please do, every paper is legal, every signature is yours." Sarah froze. Michael sat quietly, broken. The news spread like wildfire. The same neighbors who watched my humiliation now watched my vindication. Some said I went too far, others said I should have done it sooner. But I didn't take pleasure in their suffering, I simply took back what was mine. A week later, Michael visited me alone. No Sarah. No kids. Just him. He knocked softly and entered. "Dad," he whispered, tears in his eyes, "I'm sorry." I looked at him for a long moment. "Do you understand why I did it?" He nodded slowly. "She hurt you, and I let it happen." I sighed. "You forgot who raised you, who stood by you, who built your life's foundation." He dropped to his knees. "Dad, I want to come back home, not to your house, to you." That broke me. I hugged him tight, like I used to when he was a child. "I'm not angry anymore," I whispered, "but your wife, she must change. Respect is not optional." He nodded firmly. "I'll fix it, Dad." 3 weeks later, Sarah returned, quiet, trembling, different. Whether out of guilt or fear, I didn't know. But she apologized, not with excuses, but with tears. I accepted. Not for her. For my son. For my grandchildren. For peace. The house remained mine, but I allowed them to stay under one condition. No more disrespect toward this old man. She agreed. And since that day, she never raised her voice at me again. Because she learned the hard way. Never insult a man who built your world. And never, ever call Grandpa Joy a beggar. My revenge wasn't loud. It wasn't violent. It was silent, precise, and unforgettable.